View requests. Yep. Jump in. Is it going to work this week?
Yeah!
Oh!
I feel like this may have been the smoothest one yet.
It is. And also, can you hear me okay?
Totally.
You can?
I think so.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Because,
Should I not be able to hear you okay?
well, no, because my headphones just turned off.
Oh. I feel like my
Yes,
camera is not straight here, but I'm like tilted. Hello.
All right. Well, if you're game, I'm game.
I think we're good. Welcome to the well, everybody.
Welcome to the well, everybody. My name is Jomar. I'm an executive and transformative coach. I work with individuals, business owners, investors, creatives, athletes around their mindset.
Right on. Welcome to the well, folks. My name is Emily Haruko-Lieb, transformational leader, and now officially Coach Catalyst is my new
All right.
title, actually, with the coaching role that I have with the new startup abroad. So that's
Nice.
exciting.
That is very exciting.
It is, but that's another topic for another time. I think what I would love to do before we get into catastrophe thinking, which is our topic for today, was let everybody know that if they are vibing and resonant with anything that Jomar and I discuss on the well, we are now offering an opportunity for you to connect with us one-on-one. So if you are watching on Instagram, you can click the link in our bios to schedule some free one-on-one time to connect with us. The link to book will also be in the comments of the Facebook section. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can go to emilyharuko.com and schedule a free call there. And Jomar, if they're watching YouTube for you, what's the best way for them, other than socials, to get in touch with you?
My email is hello@jomargomez.com. So again, if any of these are resonating and you are ready and fired up for a powerful experience, they are complimentary, but we are going to treat you like a paying client. So if you're ready for something compelling, if you're ready for one of the most memorable conversations you'll have, it might just be one or it might be more, who knows. Email me at hello@jomargomez.com, and I have all of that info in my profile.
Perfect. Yeah, and I just want to reiterate what you're saying is, for people to never underestimate what's possible inside a powerful conversation. And those are conversations that Jomar and I have agreed to facilitate for anyone watching the well, and what our offering is from this point forward if you're participating and viewing these videos. So on that note, let's get into the nitty-gritty today, which is the topic of catastrophe thinking, which I was so resonant with when you supplied this idea for this topic. Tell us a little bit about where that came from.
It came from a few conversations I was having in the last 2 weeks. There's this default in us to sort of have one sort of thought or story around an event that's about to happen, and then it almost like spirals around that, and the thoughts layer above that. And most of the time, we're not trying to do that. Most of the time, we're not trying to actively, like, let me think of the worst case scenario here. Most of the time, it sort of just happens on its own. It's like an autopilot. And I thought that was a helpful thing to notice, and a helpful thing to put in this space today is we're almost not at fault that it happens. It's almost acting on its own accord. It's like this independent agent within our hardwiring to be like this. And interestingly enough, I was listening to a podcast by this guy named Deval, and I've been reading this book, Sapiens. And it actually, from a scientific standpoint, we come, like, our ancestors were born of this sort of pessimistic thinking. It's actually in our DNA for this to happen,
Yeah, it's
where
don't leave the cave because there might be a saber-toothed tiger out front.
outside. Yes, yes. And what's interesting is, like, the world is much safer now, but we have this, like, operating system within us that's still, like, acting as if there is a saber-toothed tiger outside. And we're like, well, I must, like, do everything I can so I'm not eaten by this tiger that I'm making up that's outside the cave.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I think one, like, to just put some more language to what you just shared, was I think without a conscious intention about paying attention to what our thought process is or where we're going with it, typically most people, the default or the autopilot is actually to go to negative thinking. It's to go to that catastrophe, worst case scenario. And I think that the thing to be responsible for there is that what you focus on, you get more of. Wait, I lost you on your Instagram.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
You're like, hi. Yeah,
What
that
you focus on, you get more of.
what you focus on, you get more of, and what you feed with energy will, you're gonna expand what that is. So I think there's also a dance to do between, just not beating yourself up when you are in that negative catastrophe default thinking. Just like, it's more like, again, the observer, right? It's like, oh, there that is again. Oh, there I go doing that again. And then bringing yourself back to the present moment. It's like, what is actually reality? Like, is this actually happening? What information do I need to make an informed choice about how I want to think about a given situation? Because in the absence of information, we make shit up. So where do you need more information so that you can stop making things up and you can start making an informed choice about how you want to think about something?
Yep. And I'll add that slowing down in these moments is really key. You can't solve catastrophe thinking with more thinking. Um, so, before you even arrive at, like, oh, like, what's next? Like, what the information is, like, what do you have in your toolkit to slow down? It's the breath. And there are breath practices. You breathe deep into your belly, and you sort of hold your breath for 6 seconds. And then when you exhale, you don't just go, ah, because at that point it's still sort of uncontrolled. So if you breathe in and you take 6 seconds, or take 4 seconds to breathe it in, and then you hold it for 6 seconds. And then when you exhale, it's like a slow, controlled exhale. Like a slow, controlled exhale slows down your nervous system. See, I found myself even doing it right now. It slows down, you settle in. The engine that runs slows itself down. And then you'd be surprised what sort of your natural inner wisdom comes up with the moment after that.
What I'm hearing from you is the ability to know how to ground yourself, because usually catastrophe thinking is happening up here, and there's something, you can't see my hands, but I might be pointing to, like, my root or my bottom, where you feel grounded and held and sturdy and stable. That's the place from which to navigate catastrophe thinking or chaos, or whenever you notice that you're in that fight or flight place.
Yep.
So that's great. There's, like, so many different terms, but one of the things that one of the styles that you're referring to is box breathing. So box breathing is simply inhaling for an amount of time. You recommended 4 seconds, and exhaling for double that amount of time. So it would be 8 seconds. And then if you can hold your breath on either end, at the top, at the bottom, beautiful way to get back in touch with your parasympathetic.
Love it.
Get out of fight or flight,
for that,
folks. Stay grounded.
That is it. We'll wrap it there. Does that work?
Yeah, totally.
Yep. We'll wrap it there. I want to remind everybody again, actually, before I remind, if you are like me, Asian American, Filipino American, and have been experiencing, obviously all of us, in this collective awakening in the last year around the color of our skin and how society is working, and then layering what happened yesterday in Georgia. So if you're experiencing any of this, our hearts are with you. My heart is definitely with you. And, for me, there's definitely a sadness to it. And on the other side, I'm more than ever inclined to, do sort of live out the dreams that I want to live out in order to create more good in the world. So I want to just take that time to acknowledge that I'm with you, we're with you. And then the other thing, choose love. And then the last thing is take us up on our offer. If any of these resonate, if there's a nudging in you to reach out and schedule a conversation with us, if you're ready for a powerful sitting, it's complimentary, but we'll treat you like a paying client. And I promise you, like, one slight sort of change will make a difference. Leave a comment, reach out to us.
Lots of love, folks. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Ciao.
If I can end it, how do I end this thing?
Great.